and a good Saturday afternoon to you. Welcome live from not Stadium, Clark Stadium here on Edmonton Sports Talk on TuneIn, iHeartRadio, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, as well as those watching on YouTube. It's Iwanyk and Jay Milne with you here at Edmonton Elks Fan Day. A little windy, so hopefully the wind doesn't get picked up too much by our microphones. But when the sun's out, it is absolutely lovely here at Clark Stadium. Fan Day going on until 1:30 today here. The players had their practice. They're now signing autographs. It's been a fun time. We're a week away from the Elks preseason beginning, which will be on the 25th here in town. And then the season gets going June 8th. Jay and I will be on live here for the next hour or so. We'll be talking to some players. Lucius Purifoy, we'll connect with him momentarily here. And then our friend, our boy, Hernan Salas, will be bringing us other players throughout too. But then Jay and I will also be previewing the Elk season for a little bit here. Your thoughts always welcome. 780-218-9999. That is the Parish Jewelers inbox. Or you could jump into the Nasty Chat. On our screen on YouTube, it does say Green and Gold. I think it also says post-game show right now. I'm going to change that to kickoff show, just because. Or do I have it? No, I got to keep it on post-game show. Whatever. Well, and the Green and Gold kickoff post-game show, it doesn't begin until June 8th, but I am thrilled to be doing it with Jay Milne.
If you're watching on YouTube and you're wondering what is going on and why we're so low in the screen, it's because all of our guests are going to come and stand right here. So we're going to stand up and chat with them briefly. Oh, we got somebody coming in.
Lucius is coming over. I'll give that to you if you could put that on. And Lucius, thanks for coming on. Welcome to Edmonton Sports Talk. Iwanyk, Jay Milne here. How's camp been for you so far through, it's been a week now?
It's been great. Just getting the rookies accustomed to how the vets move around, being a leader. That's my step this year. I'm the vocal leader of the defense, so just getting the guys right, letting them get accustomed to the speed and the coaching. But everything else is great. They're a good group of guys.
When did you feel like you became a leader of this team? Because you just joined it last year. How long does it take to become a leader of a team? Or did you feel like you were a leader last year? Or when do you feel like
last year?
Yeah?
Last year. I mean, I was, as you could tell, I was vocal.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a group that was all rookies. Me and Ed was the vets. And I kind of like when Ed got hurt, it was all on me. AG was here, but it was more they were vocal. I was playing in vocal, so I ended up just being that leader for the group. And now that's what Coach Jones wanted me to do, and that's what I'm doing. It's different because I'm so competitive. Like today, they got to play. I had to go out there and just watch. So it's different for me because I like to fly around just like them. But I got to accept the fact that I'm a leader now, and I'm a vet. So if they want me to stay off my feet, I got to do that.
So was the thought process from Coach Jones that you're going to be more valuable today on the sideline, kind of coaching and being part of that defensive secondary, as opposed to being on the field and proving what we and the Elk staff all know you can do already? Was that something that they wanted you to be a part of, was the sideline attitude and coaching?
Yeah, that's something they taught to me during the offseason because they know I play with my pads. I don't really do the rah-rah. I just like to play and show leadership with playing, show you how football is supposed to be played. But during the offseason, I did a lot of soul searching, and I understand I got to be more vocal. That's why you see me break them down. You see me running around helping people and getting them in order because attention to details is what we're coaching right now. So.
Last year, obviously not the results that you guys would have wanted, but what are the biggest lessons that you think this group could take away from last year to take those steps forwards this year that you guys want to take?
We got to trust each other. I mean, last year was kind of like different voices everywhere. This year, you got clear-cut leaders everywhere. So coming from head down, coaches, we got a better coaching staff. We got better leaders. We got people that's bought in. The rookies, they buying in. So for us, we just got to take that next step as a team completely and trust each other.
How would you describe what type of defense you guys might look like this year on the field?
Oh, we're going to fly around and make hella plays. You're going to see hella plays made. Hella plays. Getting the ball back to MAC-10, that's the job.
I like that, hella plays. I love
plays.
That. There's the slogan right there. Elks defense, hella plays. I love it.
Now you've been across the field as you're in the deep third on the defensive side of the ball. McLeod Bethel Thompson's under center on the offensive side of the ball. What can you see right now as having MBT come in and lead this offense a little bit differently, and how much do you think that's going to affect that team and the Elks going forward this year?
He was a born leader. You could tell he came right in and started leading. He know where he going with the ball. He know exactly how to get guys lined up. He got them in here from the time he in to the time he leave. Even during rookie camp, he had the receivers with him in the indoor, working their timing. So we didn't have that last year. We didn't have a vocal leader at quarterback. And it was the majority of us, like, on defense just talking. So this year it's, oh, we got a leader. He going to bring you up. He going to talk. He going to tell you how he feel. And you got to respect that. You got to respect a guy like him.
Now, you've mentioned the word leadership coming in from the top down. Obviously, you're one of the leaders in the defensive secondary. Who else would you lean on that defensive side of the ball, whether it be on the D-line or into the linebacking core, that you would say are vocal leaders and have stepped up and taken on that challenge? Because leadership, without a team, without leadership,
you don't have nothing.
That team ain't going anywhere. We all know that. But who are some of the other defensive players that have been highlighted or that have risen to the occasion and stepped up as leaders?
You got guys like Niles Morgan. He's a great ball player. He's a great leader. He's a passionate player. But this year he's taking that step to lead his guys the way they're supposed to be led. And he also got the fact that he got the defensive coordinator in his room as his coach. So that takes his game to the next level, and he's bringing all of them with him. To see them moving around that fast as rookies and catching it that fast, it wasn't like that last year for us.
So you're saying that the defensive coordinator and Niles Morgan live together?
They don't live together. You might as well say it. That's his coach. He getting it straight from him.
That's amazing. That's great. I mean, what better form of connection can you have in communication than staying in the same room, right? Because those two have got to be on point.
Yes, sir.
Right?
It's still a week away from your first game, but you're ready to go out and just actually get into action and hit
man.
someone else?
Come on, man. When you see that mask, come on, you know what time it is. I can't wait.
The final one, the Guardian caps. We saw them in practices last year. They're in practices this year. They can be used in games. Are you a guy that's going to be, do you like the Guardian cap, or are you not so sure on that?
I know the answer already.
I don't know what I can say on here. So
we can leave it at that if you'd like.
I don't do that. I play.
This is from the old school, right?
I was born.
How is it on the head though? Like, did you notice it while you're practicing with it on? Does it feel a little different?
If it's loose, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can't really. If it's protecting people, then it's protecting people. If it's not, it's not. I feel like we play football. Why would we go out there and look like clowns with that on our head? That's all I'm saying.
Lucius, I appreciate the time and stopping by and sticking around for us here, and all the best with this season.
Thank you for having me.
And there it is, safety of the Elks. Lucius Purifoy there with you here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Matt Iwanyk,
Don't
Jay
go too
Milne
far,
with you.
Matty.
We've got another guest right here. I'll give the headset first over as Mark Cordy, the center of the Edmonton Elks, is joining us. Matt Iwanyk, it's a pleasure to have you on. Welcome to Edmonton Sports Talk, and how was today for you?
It was great. It was, it was a good chance to get out and compete against each other as a team here, and really just get a feel for what a game's going to feel like when it comes to warm up and getting out of the field and everything like that. And as much as anything else, just a great chance to interact with fans. Being able to make those face-to-face interactions with adults, with kids, give them a chance to meet us and get to know us face-to-face was fantastic, and a unique opportunity throughout our year here. And to give them a chance to come out, see us face up, get things to do with the police and with the bouncy castles and all these fun things. Just a great event, one that I always looked forward to in training camp.
How's training camp been so far, a weekend for you?
It's good. You know what? We've our offensive line, we've really kept the same group together that we had at the end of last year, that I think down the stretch we started playing really well. And so, take that and add a new quarterback to it, add some new pieces around the offense, a full off season to prepare. And I think we're gonna have a good group on offense this year for sure.
So I know, given how much I know the Cordys from our Golden Bears connection, and I gotta say it, gosh darn, you look good in green and gold. Let's try to keep that for a long time, okay?
It suits you very well.
It does. It suits you. It's natural.
Both green and golds, they suit you very well.
Yeah, one could say it's natural. It's a natural fit. But I gotta ask, where's the crew? Where's Mel? Where's your dad? I mean, they got to be here, right? Somewhere.
Yeah, absolutely. We had some good Cordys here today. My wife and mother-in-law were able to come out. My mom, some of our younger cousins were out. So, it's always great to have the support here in Edmonton from the Cordys, and it's always something special for me. That's kind of unique to being a local guy, is you get that support, and I'm just thankful to have them here at things like this for sure.
They locked down in the tailgate? They got their
Oh,
spot.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
They're all good to go for this year.
They're all fired up. You know, new tailgate location
Yeah.
this year, so they've already got their their row of stalls picked out, and they're gonna they're already making plans for it. So
Best part is they also do the Golden Bears ones. I love that. Like I went to a couple Bears games last year, and you just go by the parking lot. There's tailgating going on over here. Even at Golden Bears games.
The Cordies don't travel light. Let's just put it that way. They bring the pain in a good way. Now we were just talking to Purifoy about having he's obviously one of the more vocal leaders on defense, maybe even on the team, which obviously, as a former defensive player, you offensive players would make fun of us, laugh at us, and say, hey, settle down. You guys rah-rah over there. We're going to be on our side of the locker room, a little bit more calm, a little bit more composed, which I've grown to understand. Now, that being said, you've got a new quarterback coming in McLeod Bethel Thompson that obviously you and him have had to have formed some sort of a relationship, trust, and all this as his center. What's the biggest difference you see from an established quarterback that had come in? Not to saying Trey Ford's not established, but McLeod Bethel Thompson's done some things in this league already. What's the change right now in terms of leadership, in terms of kind of captaining that whole offense that you've seen in the first couple weeks here at camp?
Yeah, I think it's been one of the biggest changes, and not to take anything away from Trey because he's a tremendous player and
absolutely,
and he's growing a ton in his young career. But having a guy that's established and that's been around pro football for a long time, like McLeod has, just the way that he carries himself, whether it's in the meeting room or when he steps into the huddle, that's what it's supposed to look like, right? And I think that's something that we've kind of been looking for, and we've got some guys that are vocal leaders, and that's something that I'm trying to work on develop in that sense. But when you have a quarterback that's really, a true, like, step into the huddle, take control, he's the guy quarterback, that makes a huge difference in how everybody operates, offense, defense. That's just a difference for your team.
Yeah, and it seems like that is a clear, feeling coming out of camp is that this is a different team. This is a different squad. And in that offensive line group, are you now, rising to as a center, you've got to be a leader naturally, just given the position. But are you now finding that, yes, you're ready? Because, that's a hard thing to do, especially in a professional level, is to come in and say, no, I'm the guy. You guys follow my lead, my actions. Is that coming into your game and into your locker room style now?
I think absolutely, yeah. I think that's a role that I've taken on, and I think it's sort of intrinsic to the center job, is you kind of have to be that guy. And it's something that I've started to embrace more recently. And I think we've got a great group of guys. Like, we've got, I can be that center kind of leadership piece, but we've got other guys that they lead. They're kind of the energy guy. We've got some guys that are more thinkers, and they're asking the good questions in meetings. We've got some guys that bring that more veteran presence that are a little older. And that's kind of a thing where we're all kind of leading in different ways at different times. So, I can be the center and be the leader, but I'm not the only guy doing it. And I think that's been really huge for our group to have different pieces of the puzzle. And I think it's really coming together, and I think it'll help our whole offense.
You guys had an OC change during the season last year. Jarius Jackson now full-time OC. How important is it to have that full off season, though, with knowing that he's going to be the OC and getting used to what he wants out of you guys, as opposed to having to make that change mid-season?
Yeah, I think it's huge to give them a whole off season and a whole training camp to install what they want, to be able to think things through over the winter. So yeah, Jarius, being able to do it his way is fantastic. I think we all like it. Steven Sorrells has taken over as the run game coordinator, so now he's got a lot more input on where we're going to direct things. So yeah, I think giving them that time over the winter and through training camp here to work things out has been huge for us, and I think we're going to run the ball well this year for sure.
I think Kevin Brown will like hearing that.
Yes, I think any Edmonton Elks football fan would love to hear that as well. Now, the last time that Jarius Jackson was with McLeod Bethel Thompson was in Toronto, where they put up some pretty incredible numbers. I mean, over 8,000 yards passing. Are you seeing the chemistry right off the bat that would, normally under normal circumstances take a camp, a preseason, and maybe even the first 2-3 games to establish? Are you seeing that clicking already?
Yeah, I think you see it for sure. We've got some veteran guys in our receivers group, like Curly Gittins Jr. has worked with McLeod before, so there's obviously something there already. Gianna Lewis has been around the league for a long time. We've got some guys that have played with a lot of different quarterbacks, so building that relationship is seems to be coming quick for them. And you know what? As an offensive lineman, sometimes it's just fun to watch, right? You walk your job and you watch the ball go down the field, and you're just watching Geno Lewis make a catch. Yeah. And so that's fun for me too to be a part of. Absolutely.
You ready to just go hit someone else?
Yeah.
You ready to just get in the game action next week? Like, it's got to be like at some point training camp, you're done seeing the Elks across them and you want someone else.
Mm-hmm. For sure. You know what? The mock game today was great, but I think we're all got our sights set here on Saskatchewan next weekend, and like you said, be able to knock someone new, see someone different, see a different look. Is going to be fantastic, and I think it's something that everyone's looking forward to is beating Saskatchewan on Saturday night.
And just finally, like, what's the vibe like inside the room this year? Does it feel a little different than last year at all?
You know what? It's great. It's there's like we talked about the leadership pieces earlier, but as much as anything else, and especially with our offensive line, I can speak to. We all came back on day 1 or 2 of camp, and we're like, it doesn't feel like we've been gone for 5-6 months. It feels like we took a bye week. We came back. What'd you guys do? Done, and we're right back into it. So that continuity piece is huge, and I think the locker room's really coming together well. I'm excited to see it as it unfolds here over the next few months.
Perfect. Well, thanks for taking some time, and best of luck this season, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Edmonton's cheering you guys on. And good luck.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks so much. Take care.
And there's Mark Cordy. He's the center of your Edmonton Elks. Iwanyk and Jay Milne with you here live at Edmonton Elks Fan Day at Clark Stadium, live on EdmontonSportsTalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio, as well as on YouTube. And I will pass that over to you, our next guest. McLeod, Bethel, Thompson, Iwanyk, Jay Milne here.
McLeod, very nice to meet you.
Appreciate you coming on by and joining us. How was today for you? How was Fan Day, or your first Edmonton Elks Fan Day?
It was great. It was great. It's good to get out here on Joe Clark Field. It's my first time and see a little bit of Edmonton in the background. I think the defense did awesome today. The twos did really well. We started a little slow on offense, but we got a little rhythm in there in the middle, and I think it was great work.
How's it been coming to a new team in a new city for you through this first week?
It's fantastic. It's been really awesome to see what's been building here and seeing the men in that locker room and what they've gone through and the fortitude that they have. They're ready to win. We're ready to win. But we got to build it piece by piece, day by day. And we got to just kind of raise our level of expectations and do it together and figure out what the 2024 Elks look like.
Why Edmonton? Why sign here? Because there would have been a lot of people that would have been interested in your services this offseason. For you, why was Edmonton the right spot?
I mean, there's I think a plethora of reasons, but familiar with J-Jack and Coach Howell and seeing what Coach Jones has been building, and then speaking to G-Roy and what they want to build here. And I think the CFL is a better league when Edmonton's a good team. So the city deserves some winning. And there's peace here, too. Trey Ford's a big part, too, right? How can I help him get to the next level and be successful here for a long time? Because I think there's 1,000 reasons. But the biggest reason is just the potential that it's in that locker room and the potential to build a winner and to build a culture of excellence here in a city that deserves some winning.
But you mentioned culture, and that's something that's been synonymous with, what used to be the Eskimos and is now the Elks, is that winning tradition. Yeah. And once an Elk, always an Elk. And it seems to have lost its way a bit. And having, somebody like yourself come here and say that would mean a lot to Elks fans for sure. Now, every person that we've had come on here and talk to has spoken about the difference in the locker room, the difference in the aspect of leadership. And you've been named as somebody that's showing and coming through as a vocal leader on the offensive side. How do you think that's going to translate for this team? And do you think there was a need for that kind of style of leadership coming into this Elks locker room?
I can't speak about what was here before, but I can just speak about what we are building now. And as to your point about the Edmonton tradition, like, this city deserves a winner, and so we're building this day by day to get to game one and start that process, right? So we still have yet to figure out who we are in 2024. I think that we all have to move authentically and be our best selves each day. We have to kind of chip the bad parts of ourselves away, the mistakes, the errors, the mental errors, and build ourselves and then build together as a unit. And that's the process we're going through, right? Yep. We're only a week in. And we have a lot more to go, but the men in this locker room are the one that is going to create it.
And how nice is it? And I'm assuming this had to have been a major part of your decision to come to the Elks, but having Jarius Jackson and Marcus Howell here as your pass game coordinator, where, to be honest, you guys did some damage back in Toronto. Is that something that you guys picked up right away and that you've moved into, and you're finding that you're comfortable with both those coaches right off the bat?
Well, the great part is that we are uncomfortable right now. Both those coaches are very dynamic offensive minds, so they're integrating about 3 different kinds of offenses into this one team. So we're kind of 3 different styles in one. So we have so much potential, and the greatest thing about week 1 of training camp is every day you want to be uncomfortable.
Sure.
You want to be, straining to try to pick up the plays, straining to trying to see the defense, and we're doing a lot of things, like I said, in kind of 3 different traditional CFL offenses. So that's a process. But they're challenging us. They're challenging us with installs. They're challenging us with the amount of knowledge we have to have. And then so now the challenge is to take the kind of broad knowledge and build it into excellence and build it into execution so that we know exactly where we're supposed to be on each play. And that's what week 2 is, right? We're transitioning into week 2. And then once we get into preseason games, it's about playing fast and playing clean.
You talked about, one of the reasons being here is helping Trey Ford. How does that look? How do you, as the starting quarterback of this team, help develop Trey Ford? Is that just a lot of talking with each other? Is that a lot of dinners with each other? How does that work between you and Trey Ford and trying to help develop him as well?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is moving authentically, right? Not trying to be anything I'm not, but just being eyes and ears for him and then telling him how I see it, right? Each quarterback is going to see the game a little bit differently. He has a very different style of game than I do, but I'm being very open with my process, telling him what I see and how I see the game. I think it's just going to add to his knowledge, right? If I can speed up his rep count. Quarterback's all about rep count. So if I can speed up his rep count and get his eyes in the right place or get his eyes earlier, comfortability with plays, comfortability with looking off defenders, then that's just going to be valuable for him in the long run.
Look, Curly Gittens Jr. you have the connection with him, obviously,
Yeah.
but what's it like having a guy like Eugene Lewis as a receiver?
I mean, across the board, we are so talented. Having Curly and Eugene in the boundary, and then, D. Mitch and Tez and Swerve to the field, much less the young guys that are coming up, we are truly dynamic across the board. So we weren't clicking on all cylinders today, but when you see it, it's truly special because we have dynamic players everywhere. And we have ball in hand guys too, right? So if we get the ball in their hands, they're going to make plays and break tackles. So we are building something for the long term, and I think we're going to be very dangerous this year.
Well, I heard that the first pass you threw of main camp was a fade down the sideline for a touchdown to Gavin Cobb. So let's just hope that continues for this season. Thank you for coming on and spending some time with us. We appreciate you sitting around here. It's not exactly formidable weather.
It will get better.
So
it
we
will get
appreciate
better.
your time.
Absolutely.
Good luck
Anytime.
to you this season.
We'll see you again
Thank you very
soon.
much.
All right,
Best
see you
of
again
luck.
soon. Go Elks.
There's McLeod Bethel Thompson, the starting quarterback of your Edmonton Elks here at Elks Fan Day. As Iwanyk and Jay Milne with you here. Just rolling through it right now. Just rolling through some of those players as we haven't even had a chance to really talk. It's just right away Lucius Purifoy to Mark Horty to McLeod Bethel Thompson. And you're right, like leadership, the big thing that we're hearing with this team and growing it. And you could tell, I think, from Lucius in what he was talking about is that, they felt that last year the defense had to be the leaders of the entire team. And for them, it's nice to now just have to focus on almost their facet and allow McLeod Bethel Thompson to take care of the offense. And then overall, there's the group thing. But, you've played defense. What would it have been like if you had to be the leader of the entire team, and it's all on you?
Well, that's what, it seems to be harped on here consistently, is that there's leadership coming from different parts of the team. And as I was saying to Mark Horty, yes, the defensive guys are traditionally the ones that are the outspoken, loud, because defense is reactionary, right? You're allowed to be reaction. You're allowed to get hyped up. Offensive is strategy and performing your job, doing your role. So, yes, you need to be a little bit more contained and a little bit, more subdued, and just this is more of a mental job and mental side of the ball. But you still need to have leaders on that side of the ball. And to hear that, a guy like Mark Horty, who's now, I think he's into his third, fourth year, is stepping up and rising the ranks.
I think this would be the third season with the Elks, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, is coming up the ranks and now taking on that sense of leadership is good, because that's the guy you need to step up as a leader on your offensive line. And on your offense is the center. The center of the offensive line is the quarterback of that line, and he's calling out a lot of things, and him and McLeod Bethel Thompson seem to have a good relationship that's building. So that's good. That's all good signs. And to hear that the attitude is changing. There's a little bit of attitude. A team that has and needs some swag. If you're going to go out on that field, you need to have some moxie. And it sounds like that's a little bit of what's happening here, which is good to see.
6th year in the league for Mark Horty, 3rd year for the Edmonton Elks. He's back where he belongs, though.
Oh, yeah.
The
That green
black
gold,
and
like I
red and white or whatever, the red blacks, it's not the colors that Mark Horty needs to be in. I wanted to look in the nest. Okay, Tom. Thank God Tommy was in the nasty chat for us, because looks like there were some Canucks fans that they jumped in during Hello Hockey. And then, we've got... Well, I'll get back to that after. Let's
more important things
let's
first.
Put this. Let's get that headset to this guy here. Trey Ford joining us. It's good seeing you again, Trey. Matt Iwanyk here. There we go. Jay Milne. How are you doing? How's training camp been for you?
Good. Everything's been going good so far. Learning a lot from McLeod, and it's just nice to get back and see all the guys in the locker room and create some of those new relationships too with a lot of the new guys that are coming in.
What are the big things you've been learning from McLeod?
A lot of things. I think a lot of stuff. Sorry, the big thing I would say would be perspective.
Yeah.
Because his perspective on a lot of things are just different and things that I haven't done, and he's a different style of quarterback than me. So there was a lot for me to learn in that aspect. But he's also played in the USFL, NFL, CFL, and has succeeded throughout his career. So I mean, he has a lot of knowledge of football. And, I'm a young quarterback still trying to learn, and I can definitely learn a lot from him, and I'm just appreciative of the opportunity to do so.
This offseason, what was the biggest thing you tried working on from last year to get ready for this year?
The big thing is just mastering the offense, but doing it in rhythm and timing with my footwork. I feel like the footwork's the thing I got to work on a lot, just because I can get away with some things athletically, just because I can always just run away and make something happen, right? But just being calmer and more efficient feet in the pocket and anticipating and working on timing with receivers.
Well, that's the truth. I think that would be the furthest thing from what any average fan would expect to hear from you as far as things you were working on in the offseason is your footwork, because you're so electric, exciting. Now, that obviously McLeod Bethel Thompson is now being named the starting quarterback for the Elks. Now, how do you transition? Because, I mean, there's a large sentiment of Elks fans that think that's maybe there should be more of a competition going here. Obviously the decisions are made on the field, and that's the way you got to go with it. How are you adjusting to that now, and what's the game plan moving forward? Is it, can Elks fans look forward to maybe somewhat of a two quarterback system at times that will take advantage of what you can do with your feet?
Honestly, I don't know. I really have no idea, right?
Come on, you're supposed to give us the insight to the playbook.
I don't get to make those decisions, but I mean, obviously it was up to me. I would love to play, right?
Sure.
But I gotta do my role as a teammate for the whole team, right? It's not always just about me. It's what's best for the team, and if that's McLeod, that's what's best for the team. So I gotta make the most out of the opportunity personally with him being here. So that is learning from him and getting all the knowledge I can to make myself a better quarterback for the future, and that's what my role is currently right now. I'd love the opportunity to play, but I just got to do what's best for the team right now.
What do you like most about playing under a Jarius Jackson offense?
The thing I would say most is just how easy he makes the reads, especially like those first and second window throws. That's probably the biggest thing for sure.
Is it nice having an offensive coordinator that was a quarterback? Does it make things a little easier for you?
Yeah, I think it definitely makes it easier just because they kind of know what you're going through. That's probably the biggest thing for sure.
We had Purifoy on first, and obviously he's a vocal dude back there. Now, as a quarterback looking across as a safety who's can be coined as somewhat of the quarterback of the defense, he mentioned specifically that there's a little bit more attitude, a little bit more moxie on the defensive side, and that comes from leaders within each individual group on that defensive side. What have you noticed as a quarterback that looks at that defense and looks right into the tooth of the dog every day? Have you noticed a change in their attitude and a change of the way that they're playing this year with the guys that they had that were here last year?
Yeah, I would say there's definitely a difference. In that, the way I view it is more just that competitive edge. Like, I feel like, obviously, when you get out here in pro football, everybody wants to compete. But you can just tell in practice they're taking those one-on-one man matchups personally. Like, they want to win every single time, and they've been flying around, and they've given us some trouble some days, out there at practice. So they're doing a really, really good job, and I'm excited to see what they can do.
Is there any way you might have gone faster?
I think I actually got a little bit faster. I'm not gonna lie. I do think I got a little bit faster.
Really?
So, but it's because I'm a little bit lower on the weight. So, because I played at like 200 last year, like 198, 200, and now I'm down to like 193 right now.
So just adding
So,
some extra
A
muscle.
little bit faster, yeah.
Yeah, and then getting a little more speed. I love that.
So
Do you spend your off seasons here, or do you go back to the Waterloo
I go
area?
back, yeah, I go back to the Waterloo area.
Have you? Did you play at the new? Because I was seeing the East-West Bowl was just last week, and it was at Waterloo. Is that stadium still shared with Laurier?
No, Laurier has their own.
Okay, Laurier.
Yeah.
So the new Waterloo Stadium, that looks gorgeous.
Yeah, the field, they just got it redone actually last year, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And then they got the field house and everything built too, which is an amazing facility for sure.
Oh wow, yeah, I couldn't believe it. It looks like a stadium similar to this, but just Waterloo, everything. They did a really good job.
Yeah.
All those OUA teams, man. You guys get all this stuff out there. Us Canada West guys had to live in poverty forever.
I mean, it's just kind of how it goes. The best division gets the best.
Oh, golly. Well, we better make sure Cordy's not around, and I see Jake Taylor over there too.
Oh, he knows. Don't worry about it.
He knows, yeah.
And now, how's the little one?
The little one's doing fantastic. So she got swim and gymnastics today. So she's a busy girl.
Nice. Well, Trey, appreciate you stopping by and hanging out with us. Love that we might maybe a little faster. I look forward to watching you on the field this year.
Perfect. Thank you, guys.
It's good seeing you again.
Thank you.
And
Thanks a
there's
lot, Trey.
Trey Ford, quarterback for the Edmonton Elks, graciously spending some time with us. Friend of EST. He was on the hang-up.
Yeah.
So friend of EST, to say a little bit faster.
Oh, I could just see the hair on the back of your neck stand up.
I'm excited. I'm excited. What I was wanting to say before we had Trey on, we had a bunch of Canucks people jump in the nasty chat because that's what you do when you're getting ready for Game 6 if you're a Canucks fan.
Keep it
Jump
up.
on an Edmonton Elks Fan Day YouTube chat.
Keep it up.
To make your comments. But we do have a few other comments in here. By the way, the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and post-game shows tonight right here. Well, okay, 4:30. Is that this afternoon?
Yeah.
That's this afternoon.
There's the
only.
man right there. You want to come on with us for a bit?
We'll pass that over. But the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show, 4:30 tonight with Tom Gazzola, YTT, and you could click that, and Matt Cass. And then the postgame show, as soon as the game's over, they'll recap things. Tommy Hudson's West Edmonton Mall on Bourbon Street tonight. That's the place to watch Oilers Game 6. Joining us now, Jake Taylor.
What's
on
up,
Edmonton
what's
Sports
up?
Talk,
Beaumont's own.
Iwanyk.
Beaumont's own,
Yeah,
baby.
you know,
Nice
In
to
the
meet
house.
you, Matt. Here.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you too.
Thanks for coming on.
Here with Mr. Milne.
You guys
What's up,
know each
brother?
other?
Yeah.
Is this Wildcats connection or?
Yeah,
is this-
Yeah, my
his younger
dad
brother,
coached
yeah.
at the Wildcats. My brother was the quarterback for the Wildcats the last 2 years.
I saw Caleb
and,
walking around here.
Yep, and family friends as well.
Yeah.
So
This guy knows everyone.
Sam was here.
He was here today?
Yes.
I heard he's...
Yes.
Oh, my God.
Sam Milne was here.
That's my nephew.
Yeah.
And now they live out in BC,
Okay.
and I never see him. And
So
my
he's
mother,
here and he doesn't even tell you that he's here.
Well,
Yeah.
my mom, I knew that he was going to be here in this weekend. I
Yeah.
didn't know he would be here today. So that little prick, I'm going to have to give him a what for.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. I love you, Sam. You give me
Shout out
call
Sam.
me. Call me.
Yeah.
None of this text stuff. Give me a call. Let me know how you're doing.
How's training camp been for you?
It's been good. It's
Yeah?
been good. I've definitely taken a step up on the mental level this year, so things are really coming together in that sense. And took good care of my body this off season, and I feel like I'm moving really good. So having lots of fun. The guys are great. We're having a good time, and I'm excited to see how we come out the gate this year.
Is Purifoy barking at you a lot? Are you in his eyesight? Is somebody that he can try and develop and try and help? Because I mean, obviously we had him on here first and outspoken, vocally on the field, everything. Is that a guy you look to as a safety that you're gonna say, hey, I gotta listen, I gotta look, I gotta watch everything this guy does and try and take that into my game? I mean, your game is wide open just like his, and you're physical just like him too.
Yeah.
So what have you gleaned off of a player like that for the two years you guys have played together?
Luch is awesome. I at first, when I first met him, he's a loud person. He's very vocal. He shares his opinion, and I was like, took a step back at first. I was like, damn, this guy talks a lot. But then getting to know him over the last year and picking his brain has been really cool. He's really been giving me tips, sitting next to him in the meeting room. He's really helping with the mental progressions for me, playing safety out there. So I'm very fortunate to be playing underneath him in practice right now.
Now, as many young drafted Canadians come into the CFL, you earn your pay on special teams.
Special teams, baby.
Special teams are
That's
where
the
you
spot.
come, and that's where you go. What did you learn last year on special teams, and what are you changing or adapting this year to make yourself? Because, I mean, we've seen players that have played on this very field that have gotten 13, 14, 15-year careers simply on special teams and being a credible backup on a defensive side of the ball.
Exactly.
That, I see, is something that, you're making the right moves, but what's changed in your game, and how have you reacted and changed? Because this isn't CIS anymore. This is the pros.
Yes. Yeah. You know what?
U-Sport. Yeah.
U-Sports. You know what? The special teams game at this level is a lot faster than U-Sports. There was times that when I was playing for the Bears, they would put like 2 guys on me and double cover me, and I'd still just manhandle these guys, get around them. I was faster. This level, you need to play with technique. You need to have every step that is purposeful, and you need to be talking with your guys. So me and Scott right now are the gunner and joker for punt. And me and him, we got a good chemistry going right now. I'm really excited to see, like I said, I feel like I've been moving a lot better. So I feel like my problem last year was I was getting in and really forcing the returner to slow down and slow his feet down, but I wasn't getting in on the tackle as much as I wanted. So I think I'll be able to hold my feet a lot better on the special teams game for punt at least. But yeah, I also was talking to Matthew Peterson, Tyshawn Blackburn, and Jonathan Giustini, who were all just drafted from U of A last year, and they're all talking about how, special
They're
teams.
probably coming to you saying, hey, bud, what do I need to know? What do I got to learn while I'm going into camp? Tell me some of the tricks of the trade.
Yeah,
and I'm
just
sure
lock
you would
it down on specs. That's what you got to do.
Hamilton loaded up on some Bears talent, didn't they, right?
Yeah, they did.
Now, Matt, you had alluded to it earlier about the caps,
the guardian
caps that you're wearing in practice. Something that's totally new to any fan that's watched CFL, and the option to play with the guardian cap is
CFL and NFL coming.
The player's option.
Yeah.
What's it been like? Do you feel it?
Honestly, you don't really. I mean, the first day, like, it feels like there's a little bit extra on your head, I guess, but you don't really feel it. I would say actually that through camp, as a defensive player, I end up like trying to not hurt the receivers as much when I'm like getting in on the ball and when it's passed and stuff like that. And I find that me avoiding trying to hurt the receiver ends up making my head move more than it should and stuff in practice. So I'd say that the Guardian definitely has prevented like probably just like some neck issues and stuff like that for me.
Is it more of a reminder, like mental reminder to you to not, take that risk and just glance somebody and potentially, cause an injury that way? Or is it something that you feel safer in when you are competing in it?
Yeah, I would say you feel safer for sure. Like when we're doing like a special teams drill where you might be running and fitting in on a block, that the guy who's taking the block, his head might not like actually get stunned as much. So yeah, I do think that there's like some impact resistance added for sure. So.
And I would imagine the whole Taylor brood was here today.
Oh yeah,
they come. They're like they're like the Cordies, baby. They show up and show out.
Yeah, they were all out here today. There was a good group. We my family loves Rob.
Okay. Yeah.
I forget how to. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but Rob Nadimic, I think, number 77.
Yeah.
But yeah, we all got a photo with him too. So
it's funny when they're getting a photo with the other guy instead of you, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, Rob, say what's up to the Taylor fam.
Well, appreciate you taking some time out for us here, Jake.
Yeah, of course.
I'm sure you're pretty excited to just get into a game sooner.
Oh yeah.
Go hit someone.
Go play against Sask. I'm pumped.
Well,
Awesome.
Go get it.
Well, thank you,
yeah,
and all the best this season.
For having
Good luck.
me on. Appreciate it.
Take care, brother.
Jay just knows everyone. It's just that simple, especially around
it's like-
football stuff.
yeah,
like
yeah, you get me here.
Jay's
It's in my-
always around.
it's in my
Jay's always
element.
around. Jake Taylor there, special teams linebacker for the Edmonton Elks. Golden Bear.
Yeah,
It's
Golden
his
Bear
second year
standout.
with it. They're the Golden Bears. They're just
Well,
it's a program that's growing. It's a program that is growing, and I'm very excited about this season for them. Like, I'm excited about the Elks, obviously, but to see how the Golden Bears respond from what happened last year, especially in that game out in UBC, it's
Well, you get it. You get that's the Chris Morris effect. I mean, he's now been here long enough where the work that he's put in is starting to become not only a habit, but it's supposed to be. It's expected. So that's what you have. You have these players that are coming out that are superior athletes. They're very educated. They're players that you want on your CFL roster. We should get Dusty to come around.
We got Dusty here.
Dusty, do you want to go on this side? Come in here. Come say hi.
You don't have to be in the fence. Why do you have to be around the fence?
No, I wanted him on the other side so that
you
he's
wanted
like a
there.
caged
Okay.
animal.
So we got him there. We got this. Dustin
I'm
Nilsson.
repping the
He's-
Riverhawks today, too.
He is the voice of the Canadian Football League on TSN.
Oh,
Joining
yes,
us.
I am.
Thanks,
I
thanks
guess
for taking
I am.
some time
Yeah.
out for us here
Hey,
at Edmonton Sports Talk. We really appreciate
You know,
it.
thanks for having me. I like helping the little people, and I'm excited for the
That's-
season.
Gonna have to fix that a little
Oh,
bit.
sorry.
Get
Is
that
that
one there.
figurative?
It's my
Literally or
first
literally?
time. It's my first time.
It's just the wind gets to it. and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah. No, it's
Yeah,
good. This is sounding good. We were driving over, partially at a hockey game at the Meadows. So we were driving over, and I popped on. I was like, man, I hope the stream's working and everything, but it's going good.
Great internet.
Yeah,
It's
we
actually
listened to
worked really
MBT,
well.
and then we
Yeah.
listened to Trey Ford. The kids are happy to get here and see a couple of the guys. So
He said he's faster.
Yeah.
Trey Ford's faster?
He said he's
He
fast.
Nah, I
thinks
don't
he's a
believe
little bit faster. He lost a little bit of weight, a couple pounds.
Come on.
And he thinks he might be just a smidge faster.
Well, then they got to mix him into the offense and
I don't know how you
move him
could
around
be.
the offense. Like,
But I sincerely hope, and I don't know what your thoughts are on it, but there's got to be a way because, Mikhail Bethel-Thompson is a Jarius Jackson-style quarterback where he's a pocket passer, 3-step, 5-step, that ball's coming out on rhythm. Trey Ford's not. But that doesn't mean that you can't maybe implement both of them into the game at some point.
I think if you can't find a way to use Trey Ford in your offense, then you're wasting him. You know, like he's a good enough weapon just to be a weapon. Now, I know Trey wants to just be a quarterback. I get it. But you can do that, right? Like, you can get him in on certain packages.
Well,
and the good thing with Trey Ford is that, like, yeah, he comes into the game, everybody's like, we know he's running. But you still can't really stop him. You know, like, he's that quick. He'll just get to the outside whenever he needs to get to the outside. So I mean, maybe not at the beginning. I could see them not mixing him in a lot of but I think it's a too dangerous a weapon to keep in the holster, you know?
In 14 and 15, when Chris Jones was here with Mike O'Reilly, they used Jordan Lynch.
They did
put
use Lynch quite a bit.
They used Jordan Lynch out there. Now, he basically just ran the football.
Yeah.
The thing with Trey Ford is you could trust him to throw the football.
Well, Ford,
But mix him in a little bit. Why
Absolutely.
would you?
Why not?
Because
Why not?
It's a completely different style of quarterback that if you're a defensive coordinator coming up against the Elks, how do you prepare your defense for the idea that Trey Ford might come in for a few plays, and you got to be ready for this running quarterback, and then go back to MBT, who's going to beat you with his arm?
I would think is he the short yardage guy?
He'd have to be.
I would think he'd have to be. So then all of a sudden you keep teams on their toes,
Yes,
knowing
thank
that
you. I
he
meant to
comes
come
in.
by.
He comes in for these short yardage situations,
Turf District stickers.
and you
Oh,
can
yeah.
actually, really utilize him in some of those spots. So
You know-
that's a one way you could start to make him a weapon early is to have him out there consistently as a short yardage guy.
I'd like to see a package where it's like, let's say you're in the middle of the second quarter and instead of MBT coming out, it's Trey Ford. And it's a package based off him. Do you know how hard that is for a defensive
To
coordinator
adjust on the go
to
like
adjust
that?
and say, oh my. Because we were watching the scrimmage here live. Every time Trey Ford got that ball, he is moving out of the pocket immediately. He is not a packet passer like MBT.
Yeah.
You have that change in the middle of the game. That is
They're
headaches.
pretty much exact opposite quarterbacks.
Yes.
Right? Like,
yes, they are diametrically opposed in the way that they play football.
I want to see somebody utilize this two quarterback thing though. Like in the league,
Yeah,
why
when they
not?
came in, it's
Everyone
like you can
thought
have
it
two
was gonna be
quarterbacks
him.
on the field, and
The thing that scares me that they won't do it is because they could have done that last year with Taylor Cornelius and Trey Ford, and they didn't do it.
No, they couldn't have.
Why
You know
not?
why? Because Taylor Cornelius didn't scare anybody.
Okay.
Okay, there was no.
Like
there
like
was
the
no,
way MBT would
Yes,
as a passer.
MBT is going to be a pocket presence. He's going to put that ball. He's going to fit that ball in to spots. That's going to make you spread out your defense. He demands that respect that Cornelius simply did not.
That's a fair point.
So when you have an MBT coming in and able to torch you down the field and able to lead an offense, changing it up to a Trey Ford and having a package, not just short yardage, But having an actual package that can come in at any point, I'd say why not? That is a two-headed monster that you could really exploit a lot of defenses
Flip
with.
side, I'd say that though is that because Taylor Cornelius wasn't the strongest quarterback last year, why not mix in Trey Ford a little bit more? And they chose not to do it.
Well, they
And that's
did.
where-
They did. We don't.
Not-
you
not
said
during
we
the
would get
games.
into this, okay?
Not during the same games. They moved on from Cornelius to go to Trey Ford. They didn't mix it in the same game.
You
So
know what?
that'd be the only concern I have that we won't see it this year is that we could have seen it last year and they didn't do it.
Now, with that being said, I mean, if MBT's firing on all cylinders,
Yeah,
I mean, you might as well just let him roll, let him
But-
cook, right? Like,
But if you
I
got
know,
in
I know.
Well, but
like-
Mike O'Reilly, he would be firing on all cylinders and they'd throw Jordan Lynch out there.
if you got in the habit
how many
of doing
packages did they really run with Lynch, though? I know he
It
was
was
a short
enough.
yardage guy.
I will
and
say this:
stuff,
it was
but-
enough that actually there are times you thought, why are you pulling Mike O'Reilly in this situation to go to Jordan Lynch because he is moving so well.
But if you did it once or twice a game where that was coming in no matter what stage or point in the game you're at, and just totally put defenses on their heels, I don't see why you wouldn't. Now, you said short yardage. I was talking to Franz Clarkson, who's the head scout for the Elks here. We were talking about these Guardian caps that people
Yes.
are now playing.
Were they wearing them out here today?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
It looks
Yeah, I
weird.
love it, yeah.
It's
It does
different.
look weird.
It's going to take getting used to if you see it in games.
But if Trey Ford is your guy coming in for short yardage, why aren't you slapping that thing on him for those plays? When you know
Oh, just to look
there's
after
a
him.
high likelihood of getting a headshot.
well,
Yeah.
I would say I don't know how easy it is to put it on and off. So if he doesn't
Super
like,
easy.
but if he doesn't like playing with it on, then I don't know how quickly you could switch them around. And
Because
stuff.
these are now available to players during games.
I know. I don't know how many
and
guys
NFL,
are going
and
to do it.
NFL. I'm saying like, we got. It's
Sure.
like the neck
Oh,
guards
yeah.
in hockey. How many guys are wearing the neck guards in hockey?
Well, one of them was wearing it
like
last
4.
night. Who was we watching last night? Somebody had a neck guard on last night. I mean, I would think running backs. I mean, if you're a running back throwing on, you're gonna. I mean, you're
Well,
leading like this quite a bit. Like,
Realistically, the offensive linemen, the interior offense, defensive linemen, those are the guys that are banging every play. So why not, right?
We're gonna move on
Yeah,
from
Gino's
Dusty.
gonna sign
We're gonna move on from the big guy.
I'm getting
We're
bumped.
gonna we're
boss
bumping
man.
you. We are bumping you.
I'm
Oh,
getting bumped.
he's gonna sign a couple autographs.
I'm getting
quickly.
bumped for a guy who started the season last year with a 102-yard touchdown.
Yes.
But my stats guy said it was a 92-yard touchdown.
No.
In my ear as I'm calling it.
No.
Yeah, that was it.
Really
Still
let
pisses
me
me
down.
off. I mean, it
Quickly,
still rattles me.
Skinner starting. Good move.
Oh my God, is he?
That's what the
I think
report was today.
Look, you go down with your guy.
That was Frank Saravalli's report today.
You go down with your guy. I mean,
Yeah.
I wish somebody local could break that stuff, but
That's-
that's okay.
Dusty, thank you. Eugene Lewis now joining us. Eugene Iwanyk, Jay Milne, appreciate
Hey, no
you
problem.
coming on.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for having me.
How's training camp been for you so far?
It's been going good, man. I love training camp. I love the competition. I love competing with dudes. I love going out there and just doing my job, man. It's like an art playing receiver. So I love going out there, doing what I do, and then going on to watch the film.
Yeah, I don't think you hear a lot of people say I like training camp.
Yeah,
Well, hey,
You know,
I mean,
that's not something you hear a lot of. It's nice to hear.
it's
I mean-
fun, man. It's kind of like when you a top competitor, like you love doing it every day.
Yeah.
Like it's something in you that you just gotta go do it. You know. So
Yeah.
How this is something I've always wanted to ask, an American receiver that's come up to the CFL, and obviously one of the glaring issues is the use of motion that is totally legal, that you've never played with your entire life growing up. We call it the waggle.
Mm-hmm.
How has that changed your game, and how have you been able to use it and exploit, and maybe add to the repertoire that you already had coming in here?
Yeah, so, for me, when I got here in 2017, so the waggle was like super brand new to me. And it was very uncomfortable for me at first.
Yeah, I
because
bet. It would be difficult.
The problem with when I was younger was when I was running the waggle, you're 6 to 8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. So in your mind, you're not realizing that I'm running 6 to 8 yards behind the line. So now when I run my 10-yard route, I ran it short because in my mind, I already ran 6. So I run 4 past the line. Now I'm 6 yards short now. So it was kind of trying to get comfortable, trying to figure out how to use the waggle for your advantage. And that was the thing I didn't know at first. But, as time kept going on, I kept using it and finding certain ways on different routes and stuff like that, it could take you to a whole nother level. If you use it the right way and you use it to your benefit, being able to move on the line and stuff like that, it can change the whole game. And me personally, I like being on the line too. Like I said, it's more American for me. It's more regular and things like that.
Probably more normal, natural,
Yeah,
right?
It's more natural for me, and obviously I've been very successful at it the last few years and things like that. I always kind of been very comfortable, but like I said before coming up here, I was never the X. I was always was a R, I was a Y. I was playing the slots. I was doing the waggle all the time. And I guess it was possibly too because a lot of people thought I wasn't fast until I get on the field and they realize I got game speed.
Yeah, that's definitely not a concern now. I would have to say, knowing that you see your defensive lineup and you know that you're in a man situation, and you're on the inside and you got that ability to break that shade right off the bat. I mean, is there nothing better for you as somebody that can now take an 8 to 9 yard head start and address your change, even in your waggle?
Yeah.
You don't even have to be across the line of scrimmage before you can do that.
Yeah, I'm licking my chops.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as I say pressing, oh yeah, let's go. It's time. I personally take it as disrespect. You're pressing me with a waggle. Oh yeah, let's go. It's time to go. It's time to win. It's time to win, and that's how I look at it.
What's it like? You got a new quarterback with the team in McLeod Bethel Thompson. What's it like having him around, and how is it with him throwing you the ball?
He's been awesome, man. He's really he has a lot of great leadership characteristics to him. He's very, very mature. He's been in a lot of situations, and he's very decisive, man. He basically got a voice where you believe when he's speaking. Like when he's talking and you see him how he's breaking down everything in the playbook and how he sees it and where he sees it. It's like I'm talking to myself sometimes. Like I'm like, oh man, he telling the receivers like, listen, I know you can run your slant route like this, but you can also do it like this and do it like this. And a lot of quarterbacks don't say that. A lot of quarterbacks tell you to run it a certain way, and because you don't want to be messing up on time. But he kind of gives us that leeway. Hey man, be yourself, do your job, but be yourself too. You know what I mean?
Be that artist that you want to be.
Yeah, be the artist. You know, and that's what I love. I love when people like. Because some people can do things one way, but they can't do it the other, and some people can do it both. So it can confuse people. But as long as you can do it and everything times up right and everything's on the right page, man, the sky's the limit. But MBT has come in here, man. He's been helping Trey too. It's just a great leader for Trey to learn from and see how to be a professional quarterback. Because when it's Trey's time, he's going to be the face of this league. So it's going to go a long way for him.
What's the biggest lesson you think this team needs to make or learn from last year going into this year? Because obviously last year, not the results you wanted, but to get those results this year, what's the biggest learning, the biggest thing you need to learn from going
I
into
got
this year?
probably about two. The first thing we have to learn is you have to believe, have faith, and see yourself winning every game. That's the first thing. If you have any doubt in your mind, that's a problem right there. Like that problem, having that doubt, I think it was kind of people hoping or wondering what other guys is going to do. And no, we got to trust it. He's going to do his job. I'm going to do my job, and that's how it's going to go. And then the other thing I would definitely just say is penalties and turnovers. Like we can't have the penalties and we can't have the turnovers, and we can't have the end of the game situational turnovers and things like that and penalties that really, really affect you during the game.
Well, and training camp's training camp. You've been through however many for your professional, your college career. The feeling when a training camp is over and you know you're going and the bullets are live. We've asked everybody that question, and just like what you did there, you get that feeling in your body that you just, yes, let's go. How does that feel for you?
It's real, man. That's when it's real. That's when you really show who you are. Your true colors come out in them games, who you really are, the things that you do. Practice and training camp, all that plays a part, and that's super, super important. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to know what you're going to do in the game, how you're going to produce in the game, and can you do it consistently. Like that's what it's all about. Can you consistently keep doing the same things over and over and over and over again to win and find the ways to make it work? So, yeah, I get excited, man. It's fun going against our team, for weeks on weeks and weeks. But you get ready, like, all right, let's go see these other guys, man. And let me see other different techniques and stuff like that.
Last year you started the season with a 102-yard touchdown.
Yes,
Think
sir.
you topped that?
I'm trying to go for 103.
Yes.
I love it.
I'm trying to go for 103.
We were just talking with Dustin Nilsson, who was calling the game, and he says he got the wrong stat.
I did.
92.
Yeah.
And he's so you need to get 103.
Yeah.
So he could correct that too
Correct
for
it,
you.
yeah, because he said 99 last year, and the thing it was one. I'm going for 103, man.
Yeah. And then you're after 104, and we go until we get 109.
Yeah, I was
baby.
trying to figure out what's the most I can get on that play.
109.
Is it 109?
Because you can't go 110.
No, I don't think it's 19. I don't know if
because
it's
the field
109.
is
It'd be at the
100.
one.
The field's 110.
But it'd have to be at the
plus
one.
20. 120.
No, but that doesn't count.
No.
That's right.
There we go.
Well, let's do it. Listen,
love it.
I'm going for the highest standard. I put myself on the highest standard. I'm going for 103.
Well,
You heard it here first.
We got Trey Ford. He's a little bit faster. He's going for 103. I'm loving the vibes around this team. Eugene, it's great having you on.
Hey,
Best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Everyone will be cheering you on. There's Eugene Lewis. I'll take that from you. You could go warm up.
Thank you very much.
It's been cold out here. There's Eugene Lewis, wide receiver for your Edmonton Elks. Live here at Fan Day, Matt Iwanyk and Jay Milne with you. Jordy Mack here cheering us on our live audience with his uncle there. And Jamie's here, and it's that cardboard
wood.
thing
It just keeps slamming, and it sounds like a gunshot.
Yeah, it's been a fun day here at Fan Day, and the weather's gotten better. What are you looking for? That you muted yourself just now. Oh, there you go. You're learning that. You got to learn.
See, I'm learning.
You got to learn the board because you're stuck with me this year. We haven't really had a chance to really get into any of this with the Green and Gold Kickoff post-game show. Look, it lives on. We had one game last year, Edmonton, Saskatchewan on TSN 1260. Myself and Jeff Walker, and then on that Wednesday, everything changed, and now the Green and Gold Kickoff postgame show, it returns. Myself, Jay Milne, live Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge on Fort Road for every single game, pre-games, post-games. Come on down, get the daily specials. I looked for the first game.
Yeah.
The Saturday, their daily special, because Eric was always there Monday, Thursdays.
Right.
So we knew the Monday, Thursdays. Saturday, prime rib sandwich. Oh. Yeah. $11.99, I think it is.
Yeah, you can go ahead and sign me up.
Yeah, prime rib sandwich. Come hang out with us for the Green and Gold kickoff shows. Get to the LRT. It's right there. Come on down to the game. It's a home game. Otherwise, stick around. They got their wall of TVs. You watch the game, and then afterwards, you get them back. We got the post-game show. There's the tables. There's the slots. There's the ponies. What better way to spend?
I'm really looking forward to it.
What are we missing?
No, it's gonna be electric. It's gonna be a fun atmosphere, and even in the away games. That we can't get to. We can be keeping tabs on the Elks game, the other games in the CFL that are going on, watching the double headers. It's going to be fun. I'm really looking forward to it.
And I'm looking forward to having you on board because
you know what?
Part
it's
of this
fun.
too is I've done this show with a lot of people. You're the first one that has played football at a pretty high level.
Yeah.
And it's exciting to even just you talking with these guys.
Yeah.
I can tell there's a connection you guys have.
Yes.
You and the players that I can't have with those players.
Well, you're here right beside a football field. You know what this feels like. Obviously not for me at the professional level, but you know what a training camp feels like. You know when you get that day of scrimmage, you are waking up and your hands are shaking, the hair on the back of your neck is standing up because you get to tee off on some people and have some fun, maybe, rattle some cages. It's what it's about as a competitor, and that's what you saw out here with these guys. And that's what they're saying about, this first preseason game against Saskatchewan. All of them are full guns ablaze about this game, which is exciting. And I must add, we heard it time and time again that I would almost say you could say it's a consensus of what we've heard today from players is that the change in tone, the change in leadership inside this locker room and with this team. And I think for an Elks fan, you've got to look at that and be quite optimistic about it.
When they're that excited, you could just tell, and they have that energy. That translates on the field. And it's going to be fun to watch what this team can do in a couple of weeks. Does this make you want to get put on the pads again while watching it? Or are you good? No, you're good. Did you ever get excited about training camp?
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you don't generally hear a lot of players saying I've enjoyed training camp or something. It's like maybe I'm used to always the NFL, the quarterbacks trying to miss as much training camp as possible.
Well, here, these guys, the veterans have only been here for a week.
Yeah.
And then their first preseason game is the end of next week. So that's not even 2 weeks, right? So that's a really short training camp where you can, you should be excited about, getting back in the locker room with your teammates, talking about, how this year's, there's just, at this time of the year, everybody's 0-0. So obviously there's a lot of optimistic thoughts going through the team that they may fall flat on their face. We don't know. But I can assuredly tell you that what we've heard here is that there has been a change, which I think was definitely needed going into this season, considering what the Elks have put on the field for the last several years. So to hear that there is a general change and a swag that's coming back to the locker room, That is music to any Elks fans' ears.
We got to wrap up right away here because we're using the power cord from the Raven. And they're packing up. They want to get going.
They want to go.
So we're going to pack up right here. But quickly, Jordy Mack, come on. You got 30 seconds here quickly. Quick thoughts on the Elks fan day today and the season.
Trey Ford did so well last year, but with the addition of MBT, they're going to have to really compete for that starting job. But MVP and McLeod Bethel-Thompson is the veteran here. And I'm assuming he's going to get that starting job. But I think he's a big contender to take that job. And because MBT, he's played in a bunch of different leagues other than the CFL. He's played in the XFL, all that. And Ford is still young, still has time to develop. Just because he's the backup does not mean he's going to get forgotten. It's just because they have more veteran leadership here, and we still need a guy like Trey Ford to. He'll be like a Calvin Pickard. I'm going to make an Oilers analogy here. He's going to be like a Calvin Pickard. He saved Skinner in the playoffs. He did so well in Game 4, Game 5. He's reliable when they need him. He did so well last season, and that just proves that he can be reliable and that it's not game over when your starting quarterback's done.
Yeah. Perfect. Well, appreciate that. We got to wrap up.
Okay, but
sorry.
First, Trey Ford. He said he sped up in the season. You versus Trey Ford. Who wins?
Trey Ford, because I am an O-lineman and I cannot run for crap.
He is a center. He's Mark Cordy.
Okay,
Jordy, thanks for coming on.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry.
Thank you very much.
There we go. And there's Jordy Mack. Matt Iwanyk, Jay Milne with you here. This was a special edition of Fan Day here at Clark Stadium. We're going to wrap up here. We are on with the Green and Gold Kickoff postgame show starting June 8th, 4 o'clock live, Century Casino Sports Bar and Lounge. Jay, it's going to be great doing the show with you.
I'm looking forward to it.
Thanks for everyone for tuning in. Reminder, GCL Diesel Oil Stream pre- and postgame shows tonight. Tommy, West Edmonton Mall, Hudson's on Bourbon Street. That starts at 4:30 right here on Edmonton Sports Talk on iHeart, TuneIn, EdmontonSportsTalk.com, as well as on YouTube.